Hey, welcome to the DPP channel. Today we have another Security Control top game, and this time it will be against the Gaiomon. Now Security Control is infamous, but it relies heavily on its tamers to make any good plays. While on the other hand, we have Black Wall Greymon that has huge tamer hit. Will it be strong enough, especially with the recent Gaiomon support? Without further ado, let's dive right into the game itself, as we do see the Agumon being hardcore here, looking at top 4 and does pick up the Dragon King level 4. It's going to evolve a Deltamon in the nursery. Now Deltamon really helps the Black Wall Grey black base variant because of how well it actually reduces the cost of the next evolution. Because Black Wall Grey really suffers with the high cost evolution, this really makes them a very slow deck. Now the left player actually passes the turn, not doing too much this turn. The Deltamon will be pushed out here and he will swing at level 4, hitting to the ultimate flare, which is the ultimate punish, as the Deltamon will die, but the level 4 will stay alive, and we're going to go for the Maki Tamer, which is released in BT9. Looking at top 3, it's going to pick up the Tapiamon and a dual color black card. So the Tapiamon we picked up only, unfortunately for him. It's going to actually hardcore the Hawkmon. So very interestingly, for the Black Gaiomon decklist, he's actually playing Hawkmon, Agumon and Tapiamon. I would say this is a very interesting set of rookies to play, different from the usual Sunrisermon and all. So it's going to pass the 3 memory to left player, it's going to finally do something, it's going to evolve the Kazemon first for 2 costs. And of course the Jet Sylphimon will of course come down here, putting into 5 security there. It's going to swing at level 4 there, very wise move. It's going to play the Zoe to pass the turn, looking at the 5 security, but unfortunately does not pick up anything from there. So the turn will just pass here, and the right player will of course hatch to another Digitama. He has yet to see a level 6 on the field first, and it's going to evolve to Tapiamon. It's going to use the Maki Tamer here to evolve on top of the Hawkmon for just a 2 cost, making the Deltamon more affordable, I would say, and the Mega Dramon will just be a 2 cost, memory choking the left player as he does destroy the Zoe Tamer thanks to the Mega Draw effect. And it's going to swing the Jet Sylphimon at the security, hitting to Agumon, so nothing happens there. It's going to go for the reinforced memory boost. Now even though it's 6 cost and it might seem very heavy, I would like to say that the 3 memory that you gain afterwards is really a good compensation for what you actually pay for. So we do see the Mega Dramon actually swing over the Jet Sylphimon. It's going to evolve the Greymon in the nursery, preparing for another big body here. It's going to go for the Maki, the second Maki here, and I would say the power of Maki is actually a stronger Nokia replacement. I think I said it before in my previous Gaiomon video, but I would like to say, as you play more tamers against Security Control in general, it's actually a very scary move. That's because of the Dexmon appearance. Now I'm going to see a Gaiomon being evolved here. However, it should stay suspended because of the swing previously on the Jet Sylphimon, so no 2 security attack there, but it's going to be answered immediately with the Wyvern Breath, passing 5 memory to the right player. Now the problem with the high evolution cost really comes into play, because when the Security Control player actually casts the high cost option and give you that bunch of memory to, you know, make a counter play. However, most of that memory will be used to actually evolve heavily. As you guys can see here, the Chimeramon is 4 cost evolution and it's already used up all the memory that the left player actually gave him. And it's going to end the turn with the Agumon hardcore, picking up the level 4 as well as the Black Wall Greymon adding it to hand. Now this provides another opportunity for the left player to react to a level 5 body in the form of Dexmon. The Dexmon isn't exactly expensive here because there's 4 cards on the field, 2 Tamers and 2 Digimons, and of course it's going to be just 8 costs if I'm not mistaken. And it's going to kill off that level 5 Chimeramon, and of course the Agumon, and the right player will have to restart his field once again. But the right player will of course evolve to the Tapiamon, which he did pick up earlier in the previous Maki. Gonna evolve to the Deltamon for 3 costs. Now Deltamon does have a very strong ability, but it only activates on the field, so in the nursery it's still just a 3 cost evolution for level 4, and it just feels very bad. Now Dexmon will swing at the security, and the Dexmon, if you guys haven't already know, it does have a very devastating effect whereby it just pops the opponent's lowest cost Digimon at the end of the turn. So basically it punishes people to not be able to push out the nursery Digimon, in this case the Black Metal Greymon, and he will have to actually just do stuff to just pass the turn, and this even forced him to evolve to the Black Wall Greymon in the nursery to prevent the destruction of it, when instead usually you would have just evolved the Black Wall Greymon to kill the dual tamer on the left side of the field. Now the Chikurimon will be pushed out to just swing at the security because the left player understands that his threat, or rather his pressure, is high. It's going to evolve to the Zephyrmon here, and of course the Jet Sylphimon will come down alongside with it, pushing him to 7 security, and this is going to be very tough, especially when he does have only 1 security left. Now the Ophanimon Fodamon will come down as well, pushing him to 8 security. It's going to swing at the Black Wall Greymon. It does die though, but Ophanimon Fodamon has a very strong on deletion effect, allowing to call the Zephyrmon out. It's going to use the Zoe to get the security once again, and of course to pick up a hybrid, but he does miss it. But of course, He does have 8 security left against a 0 security, and in the next turn, or rather in the next 2 turns, a nursery Digimon will have ended the game. He's going to go for the Dexmon himself. It's going to be just 3 costs thanks to the Maki, and I'll kill off the Zephyrmon, and the Dexmon will actually swing over the other Dexmon thanks to the Tapiamon plus 1k DP, so making it stronger. It's going to activate the Kongo here to prevent any hybrid Digimon shenanigans, but of course he does have the Chikurimon in the nursery, and I would say the right player is doomed for the game. He's going to hardcore the Chikurimon to actually just memory choke him, and he's going to die thanks to the Dexmon ability, but you can't stop that nursery Digimon, so that's very unfortunate. It's going to actually hardcore the Gaiomon, but it is an inherent blocker, so it needs to have a level 5 on top of it before it can block, and the left player will go for the swing and end the game right there. But the right player will go first in this game, actually going for the Tapiamon evolution in nursery and going for the Maki Tamer already. Now the Maki Tamer really helps a lot because unlike Nokia, it actually searches for the card first instead of actually requiring you to hardcore the Agumon or the Gabumon from hand, which sometimes feel very bad, especially because you want to evolve in the nursery first. Now I do see a TK turn 1, and this usually is the best starting hand for the security control players because you can look at your security and understand how much you can play around. Now we do see Deltamon being evolved in nursery, and thanks to that TK, he does start the turn off with 3 memory. It's just gonna play the Dual Tamer TK and Easy Izumi to just pass the turn. It's just gonna be 1 memory for him. Now it's gonna see a Metal Greymon being evolved yet again in the nursery, but mainly because Metal Greymon doesn't really do too much when you don't have any Digimons on the field. Now we're gonna see a Kazemon being hardcore here, which is a very interesting move, but mainly to just pass the turn. We're gonna see the Maki Tamer doing work here as he does evolve to the Black Wall Greymon for just 3 costs. It's going to kill off the TK Tamer. It's not going to allow him to start the turn off with 3 memory, but the Dual Tamer does allow him to gain 1 memory thanks to that Black Wall Greymon on the field. And we're going to see a Zephyrmon evolving on the Kazemon just to draw 1, cycling more into the deck, and it's going to swing at the security, hitting to a Dexmon there, so of course it's going to die. It looks like just going to go for the Wyvern Breath here, a very classic play to just kill off that Black Wall Greymon. Now Wyvern Breath is still doing a lot of work because it doesn't actually destroy the Digimon, it just minus DP, and Digimon that is reduced to 0 DP will just die naturally thanks to the game mechanics, so cards such as Greymon X will not be able to counter them. Now we do see a Metal Greymon being hardcore here, and the TK will basically gain 1 memory thanks to the Metal Greymon presence, but I would say the only way you can play against security control is to actually hardcore these Digimons instead of actually evolving slowly in the nursery, because they do excel in killing 1 big body, especially in the Black Wall Greymon. So if you can just spread out your big bodies, I would say more economically, I'm not sure if that's the right word, but in this case, you don't really want to push out just 1 Digimon for them to answer. You do want to have multiple threats coming at the same time. Now we do see the Black Wall Greymon actually killing off the TK Tamer, and it's going to make him choke out of the Tamer, and it's going to swing the Gaiomon for just 1 cost evolution thanks to the Maki Tamer, and the security attack plus 1 will come into work here, killing off 2 Ophanimon for the Mon. It's going to restand thanks to the reboot. Now we're going to pick up the Ophanimon for the Mon because of his very nice artwork there. I'm going to go for a Wyvern Breath, but of course thanks to the TK Tamer being destroyed, he can't actually do that. So that's a very sick play thanks to that Black Wall Greymon. Going to hardcore the Kazemon just to pass the turn, but I would say this is pretty much over for the left player because his tempo is out of the game already, given that the right player does have the Gaiomon and a nursery Digimon to play out, while the left player doesn't have any Tamers, no futures. So very unfortunate for him this game. It's going to actually hardcore the Ophanimon for mode, which is a sign of a desperate play, and going to give 10 memory to the Gaiomon player as he does push out the level 4 Digimon from the nursery. The Gaiomon will actually respect the Ophanimon for mode, actually swing at the Ophanimon instead of going for the security, respecting the security. He's going to call the Zephyrmon. The right player is going to call the Hubmon himself. He can top 4 to pick up a red dual color card. He's going to pick up the level 4, adding it to hand. And thanks to the Maki Tamer, the level 4 will of course just be 1 cost evolution here, which is very nice. So he's going to go for the Jogress evolution here into the Chimeramon, which is very handsome because using 2 level 4s, you do go into a level 5 for no cost. It's going to pick up the Deltamon from the drop zone and putting it into an inherit ability. It's going to go for the Gaiomon here, which is 5 cost, which I must say is a very steep evolution cost. It's going to swing at the security here and going to use Deltamon to actually pop the Zephyrmon. The Zephyrmon is actually popped here because of the Chimeramon played earlier, which reduces 3k DP on the Zephyrmon, allowing it to become 3k DP or less. Now it's going to hit 1 more security here because of the security attack plus 1 thanks to the Gaiomon. That's hit into a Chikurimon, which will make it evolve down back to the Chimeramon, which I must say can be a disaster if it does have a Black Wall Greymon to follow up to kill off that last Zoe Tamer on the left side of the field. The Agumon here will pick up the level 4 and the Metal Greymon, adding both to hand. And the left player will only have 2 memory to work with this turn. It's going to go for the ultimate flare here to de-evolve their Chimeramon, but the Chimeramon will actually be de-evolved into the Greymon there, and Greymon will not be destroyed by the ultimate flare. So this might be a mistake on the left player end, but he can't really do too much anyway. The Gaiomon will swing at the last security, hitting to nothing but a tactical retreat. But thanks to the Gaiomon security attack +1, it's going to hit 2 security, and the Greymon will end his game. So moving on to game 3 here, the left player going first. It's going to hatch the Doraemon and of course play the Tamer to start the game. It's going to play a dual Tamer TK and Easy Izumi, not the best though, and the right player will have 4 memory to work with this time. It's going to hatch the Koromon, evolving to the Agumon first, and then evolving to the Deltamon for 3 costs, and it's going to part play a Agumon to get top 4. Now the top 4 will reveal the 2 Gaiomons, which is able to pick up both of them because it's going to be regarded as a Greymon and a Dragon King. And the left player will actually be passing the turn here, so not looking too good for him, as the right player does have the freedom to actually swing at the security here, hitting to a Zephyrmon and not being punished by a Tamer. It's going to evolve to the Metal Greymon to memory choke the left player. It's going to start off the turn with 1 memory. Looks like it's going to pass the turn once again. Man, I'm not sure if the left player is hiding some sort of hidden strat there, but the Metal Greymon will be pushed out and going to kill off that dual Tamer there. And the left player will have 1 memory to work with this turn. He's going to go for the ultimate flare, which will of course kill off that Black Wall Greymon very nicely. This will force the right player to restart the game basically, but he does have 7 memory to work with. He's going to hatch the Koromon once again. He's going to actually go for the Hero Tamer here, and then going for a Deltamon Hardcore. So he doesn't have any rookie to follow up there, so that's very unfortunate on his end. Ironically, the left player does have the rookie Digimon and it's going to pass a turn once again. This might be the 3rd or 4th time that he passed. And we do see the Agumon evolving in Nursery for the right player. It's going to use the Deltamon ability to evolve the Metal Greymon for just 2 costs, which I must say is very cheap. It's going to go for the Gaiomon here, but it's going to be 5 costs though, and the Gaiomon will use his Blitz ability to swing the security for 2 checks. And the first check will be a Kazemon, so nothing there, and it's going to hit into a Kari Tamer. But the Kari Tamer is going to be very welcome for the left player because he finally can have a Tamer on the field. Now the Chikurimon will actually be pushed out here, and then going for a tactical retreat to put the Chikurimon into the security. The Kari Tamer will actually compensate for their memory, so basically a free cost. And it's going for the dual Tamer here, and it's going to pass the turn once again. Man, this guy is definitely not making too much plays this game. However, the Chikurimon in the security is going to be very annoying for the Gaiomon player. It's going to use the Gaiomon to swing at security, and of course the Chikurimon will be there to de-evolve the Gaiomon into the Metal Greymon. He's going to go for another Metal Greymon in Nursery to pass the turn. Imagine if he does have the Metal Greymon to actually do the shenanigans. Unfortunately, he doesn't. So he's going to see a dual Tamer doing work here as he does push into 5 memory, which is mostly what security control player does want, because if you do have a lot of memory, you can make more plays. Now one of the plays going to make here is going to hardcore the Dexmon, which is just going to be 14 cost, which is a very hefty cost to pay, but it does deal with the Metal Greymon on the field. The Metal Greymon will be pushed out here, and then evolving to the Gaiomon for 5 cost. It does have 4 memory left. It's going to swing, actually act the Dexmon thanks to the Hero Tamer and the Metal Greymon ESS. It's going to hardcore the Tapemon to pass the turn alongside the Hero, basically giving him 4 memory to work with. Now the second Hero Tamer played here might be a mistake in my opinion, because you don't exactly need so much Tamers against the Dexmon player, and Dexmon player really strive when you do have a lot of things on the field. So it's going to go for the ultimate flare to actually deal with the board, and the right player is going to force to restart the game once again. The right player will hatch to the Koromon and then evolve into the Tapemon here. And it's going to follow up with a Greymon for 2 costs. It's going to go for the Maki Tamer here for 3 costs, looking at top 3 for a dual color black card. It's going to see the Black Wall Greymon ending into hand, which is going to be very nice, but we do see the left player starting off the turn with 5 memory once again, thanks to that dual Tamer. Now we do see a second dual Tamer coming down, and it's going to pass the turn immediately after the second dual Tamer. So this guy is definitely passing a lot of turns this time round, but he does have the dual Tamer pushing him to 7 memory here, which is simply busted. It's going to hardcore the Jetsilphimon, then evolving to the Orphanine Fodamon for just 3 costs thanks to the Kari, and will push him back to 3 security. So he's slowly recovering to a very healthy amount of security, and the right player might find a huge issue when dealing with it. He's going to go for the Black Wall Greymon for just 3 costs thanks to the Maki Tamer. Going to kill off all the dual Tamer because the dual Tamer is gaining so much momentum for the left player. The Black Wall Greymon actually swing at the Orphanimon fall down mode, proccing his ability to actually hardcore the Zephyrmon from the drop zone. And the Black Wall Greymon will swing once again at the Zephyrmon. It's going to hardcore the Hawkmon here, looking at top 4 for dual red card. So the right player definitely fits in a lot of searches for the deck to improve the consistency, but the left player definitely have the better edge because it's a security control deck, which does very well against that one big body. You do see the Tactical Retreat play, and gonna put the Chikurimon into the security there, and gonna gain 1 memory thanks to the Kari Tamer. It's gonna go for the deck spawn, which is gonna be 5 cost only thanks to that 5 total cards on the field, 3 Tamers and 2 Digimons. Gonna go for another deck spawn, which is gonna be a bit higher, but it's gonna be 8 cost and still affordable. Gonna de-evolve that Black Metal Greymon and go into a Greymon and then kill off the level 4 of course. Now Dexmon is definitely a very much stronger Alter S, I would say, because it does de-evolve the card first and then kills off the level 4 below, and it does have a very strong end of opponent turn effect whereby it does kill off the lowest cost Digimon on the field, and with 2 Dexmon on the field means you can actually pop 2 different types of Digimon every single turn, and the right player is going to struggle against that 2 Dexmon. And the left player will of course have the freedom to actually start swinging at security thanks to the Dexmon presence. But instead, it's going to pass the turn here to just simply choke out the right player, because the right player is facing a very strong issue, which is basically decking out. The right player has such a lot of cards this game, and of course evolved quite a bit, so he does draw quite a bit into the deck. And the left player is just simply passing turn most of the time, so the right player is actually the one doing most of the move. He's going to go for his own Dexmon here. He's going to pass him 10 memory in total thanks to the No Tamer, but because there's 2 Dexmon on the field, the Dexmon will actually pop off the Dexmon as well as the Hawkmon there, so that's very unfortunate. And imagine passing the turn with 10 memory on your side, because the left player is so confident that the right player doesn't have any move to make to actually stop or rather end the game here. The left player will once again gain 2 memory thanks to the No Tamer, and he's going to just pass the turn once again. So the right player is forced to bring out the Omimon X to the battlefield. He's going to swing at the security, which can kill off one of the Dexmon though, but it still leaves up the other Dexmon on the field. Does hit into a Chikurimon, which is going to de-evolve the Omimon X into a Gaiomon, but we do forget that Gaiomon does have security attack +1, so the Chikurimon actually de-evolve it into a Gaiomon, which will provide 1 more check. But both of the player unfortunately miss out this timing, and the Deltamon will be hardcore here to actually feed itself to the Dexamon, and we do see the Wyvern Breath coming down to kill the Gaiomon. And this should be it for the right player, given that he has 2 cards left in the deck and he can't actually push out against that 3 security left of the security control player. It's going to evolve to basically deck himself out. It's going to pass the turn here, and naturally the left player will just pass the turn to end the game here, and this is where the security control wins. Now this is the security control deck list if you guys are interested to try out. And this will be the handsome Gaiomon deck list, which came a bit short. Now thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys enjoyed the content.